Hello, everybody, and welcome to Behind the Camera with AndyGames. This is the podcast where I interview streamers and content creators with the sole purpose of getting to know the person a little bit better behind the camera. Today's guest, we have Hawk, a Mario 64 speedrunner and more recently a Super Mario Wii speedrunner. Hawk, how are you doing? It's good to have you on the podcast.
Yeah, we're doing wonderful. How are you doing, buddy?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Yep. So, the format of the podcast is I just ask you a number of questions. We'll just get to know you a little bit better as a streamer and as a person. Just shoot the shit, really, to be honest with you.
Love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
man. So, yeah. So, first of all, just take us back to the beginning, man. Take us back to the beginning of your gaming journey. Like, what sort of games did you like to play when you were younger, and how it led eventually into streaming?
Yeah, sure. It's kind of a weird arc, weird story, how it all came about. I started out when I was a kid, I was a Sega guy. I was not even into Nintendo. So I don't think a lot of people would maybe assume that I'm like this Nintendo junkie. But I was like Sega and then 32X, Sega CD, and then I was like, okay, PlayStation. I had an original Nintendo with Mario 3 and Mario 2 and Mario 1. And that was pretty much it. But I never had a Super with Super Mario World. I never had Mario 64. Now, when
Mm-hmm.
I was a kid, for my birthday, I'm aging myself so bad. My mom, she let me rent a Nintendo 64. So back then you could like rent a console.
Oh shit! Right.
It was like, oh, here for your birthday. So I got to play Mario 64 all night one night, and I loved it. But that was like the only time I really got to play it. Uh, you know, maybe a couple other times later in life, But yeah, so I didn't really start playing games again. Like I played NBA games with my friends or like sports games, in college. But like I really didn't start playing video games again until later, which is like 2 years ago. So I mean, there's a huge gap of me
Mhm.
not even playing anything, um, and just living life, being an adult, and and then I started playing Mario Odyssey, and I'm like, holy shit! So basically what happened was, I get it for my kids, right? And I'm like, hey, they're gonna love, they'll love this Mario, and then they keep going like, help me, help me, help me. So I'm like, give me that shit. So before I know it, I'm the one beating the games. I beat the game ahead of time, so I know what to do. So I love Odyssey, and I'm like, man, this is like the greatest fucking game ever. I'm like, how did I miss Mario Odyssey? So I start playing that, and I love it. And I'm like, you know what? I've got this TikTok account here I don't use. I'll just put like the phone on the tripod and just stick
Mm.
it, and we'll point toward the TV. And if somebody comes in, it'll be fun. And that's kind of what I did. So I did that a few streams, and then I was like, that sucks. You know what I mean? So the next thing I did was I was like, back then you had to have 3,000 followers, right? So you had to have 3,000
Was
followers
3,000
to
back then, was it?
yeah,
Shit.
you had to have 3,000 followers for live studio back then. Now you don't need any. And
Yeah.
it's like they'll just fucking hand it out. So, but back then you did. So what do? I'm like, well, I'm not gonna grind to 3,000 followers. I just spent like $50 and bought 3,000 followers, and then
Fair.
I got my access. And as soon as I went live on there, I was like, okay, this is a lot better, right? And I tried to play a few games, and then all of a sudden it was like there's this Mario 64 craze because I'm watching Hiram and Ty. This is before Beats was even playing.
Yeah.
Ted wasn't even playing then. Um, so so I'm watching those guys on TikTok. I'm like, man, I could try to play this. And I remember I like tried to play it, and I'm like, this is the hardest game ever. Fuck this game. I did. I was like, I'm not doing it. And I remember back then, Tiff was one of the first people I met. If you know Tiff,
Mhm.
And she was like, you know what? Just go live and play it and see what happens.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't even know all the WOMs. So like I would go live and literally play the same 3 stars and I would reset. And I'm being for real. And it would just be like 3 4 stars reset, 3 4 stars reset. And then the next stream I would add more stars. And I kept doing that until I worked my way up to 70. But like I don't know why people kept watching me just reset. I think it was really because they like to see me melt down so bad. And it was a combination of that and like the Mario movie had just come out, so like there was some hype there. And also TikTok was kind of new to streaming, so like there wasn't a ton of people streaming back
Yeah.
then. So like man, I could soak it up, man. The algo was just throwing people at me. So it was just we had so much fun back then because it was just wild. I mean, I would literally just be um, doing 3 stars, resetting, and there would be 500 people watching me constantly. And it was just like, what is this fucking TikTok thing? So that's kind of how I started. And that's so addicting, right? Because like you get all this instant dopamine hits on, from
Oh yeah.
streaming. And it's just like, I don't know, I don't want to do anything else. This is like the best thing ever. And now it's like kind of a hollow shell of what it once was. For whatever reason.
Yeah.
But like in the beginning, man, I would get done with a stream and it would just be like, you would be so mentally just like,
Oh
because,
yeah.
there would be so many people in chats. Like I remember every Sunday I would have over 1,000 people every Sunday,
Oh
every
wow.
Sunday. And it went on forever. And then like, I don't know, maybe 6 months actually, but it felt like forever. And you're just like, all of a sudden, poof, like it's gone. You take a few hits, but like for me, and I had to decide this early, was do I stay within the terms of service and try to like avoid getting banned,
Yeah. Of course.
or do I be me? Because I can't. Like I think there's an entertainment value that's really taken away when you're not authentic.
Yeah. Oh, massively.
So I just said I'm just gonna be me. I'm being authentic, and if they take me out, they take me out. I'll make another account. I'll do whatever I need to do. I don't care. Fuck it, because I don't want to stream if I can't do me.
Oh yeah.
So that's just kind of like I had to make that decision early. And when I did, and I was like, I can be completely unhinged and just not think about it, I have nothing to lose. Then it really I think helped.
hmm
I don't
Yeah.
know.
No, for sure. Because I definitely think though with TikTok especially, like the censorship is just so it's ridiculous at times. Like let's be honest, it's ridiculous. And I kind of think like especially with the growth of like say TikTok agencies, and not obviously, I am part of one and we all know a load of people who are as well, but like there's almost like this sort of thing where they're trying to make people fit this mold of like a cookie cutter TikTok streamer, like, where you're coming in and you're basically fucking begging for money, essentially. Where there's, you're trying to like,
Right.
but they try to like mask it as you're incentivizing when it's really not. You're just basically saying, support me by giving fucking money. But like, I 100% agree with what you're saying. Like, being yourself kind of does go against the grain of that, but like, it's a hell of a lot more entertaining. I would rather watch there's so many different reasons why people watch things, and like, you said, like the meltdowns, but then there's also the fact that you're learning a new game, you're kind of, well, learning how to speedrun it, game you played before, but you're
Right.
learning how to speedrun it, so people are kind of interested in like following that kind of journey and that story kind of thing, but also enjoying the meltdowns, like as we say, because like who doesn't love
Yeah.
a good like, you know remote thrown across the fucking screen.
Yeah, I think when you're speedrunning, there's an entertainment value of like if you're at the very beginning, you suck and people don't want to watch you. But if you're at like the end where it's like
Mhm.
I'm really good and all I'm doing is resetting, it's also not very entertaining. There's this window in between where it's like I'm getting good, but I'm not resetting a ton
Yeah.
and we're still making PBs. And I think that's kind of like peak speedrunning entertainment, um, which is tough. I mean, That's why I respect like Beats and Ty, how they do it so
Oh
much
yeah,
because they play so much on the back end. Like people don't realize how much they practice on the back end. I literally don't have that much time in my life, but
yeah,
like they are amazing how they dedicate so much time for that. So they like are still awesome and still PB all the time. Like it's like I don't know how they do it, but those are the people I look to when it comes to like just a respect factor, how good they are and how good they do it.
yeah, 100%. Because like I think I am always of the opinion with like a lot of Mario 64 speedrunners, of the ones who are of like a highest level, they like sacrifice sort of personality and entertainment for good gameplay. But then like,
Right.
the likes of like, Beats and Ty, they do manage to do both somehow, which is kind of incredible. And I kind of think that's like a really good mix.
Yeah.
Like they're able to
Yeah, like to
do well
me,
being
I
good.
yeah, I realized early on that I'm not a savant. I don't have the tism. I'm not gonna be a number one streamer when it comes to playing games,
Hmm.
but I can figure out the entertainment value a little bit better, and try to make it to where people just want to join. At the end of the day, it's just about like, do people enjoy being in this space?
Yeah.
So, that's the whole thing. For me, I just try to make people laugh. Like, literally, it's just trying to make people laugh. And if people laugh, I feel like they have fun. If you have fun, you stick around. I don't know.
Yeah. Like
But I
100%.
also try to be good at the game, though. I don't just fuck off and don't practice. Like, I still do stuff in the background. I just
Mhm.
don't do as much as they do, just strictly because I don't have the time. But, like, also, I'm also working on the back end, working on videos and working on sounds and working on this other stuff a lot. So those are things that I focus on. And yeah, you have to decide, like if you're Green Suiji, yeah, if you watch his stream, it's terrible.
Yeah. Oh,
But
100%.
like, but he also has a world record. So people flock. So, that's not going to be me. But there are people that are very entertaining that people do watch that aren't the best. And I'm just trying to find my space.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and I think as well, whenever you're like growing a community and all of a sudden, like you say, you had like every Sunday 1,000 people watching you, and it just grows and grows and grows. Like, it gets to the point where you kind of have to make a decision. It's like, okay, do I want to focus on being good at this game, or do I want to kind of focus on being entertaining, growing this community, making a safe space for people, and just kind of riding the wave and
Right.
enjoying it, right? And yeah, like it's because obviously you do focus a lot on the entertainment side of things, I've noticed. So like your especially with your Tickfinity and all your signs, because I know like a lot of your signs have been um you've done them all yourself, especially like your Heart Me sounds, and
Right.
I think they're like incredibly engaging. Like, so where do these all like come from? I know obviously like your
Yeah.
most recent one is a combination of like your last two, I believe,
I don't know.
but rightly
I
so.
mean, the sounds and stuff is literally just shit from childhood. It's literally me being like a kid again. Like when you're 15 years old, like what do you talk about? Tits, ass, douche, queefs. Like it's like, but it's funny to do it again and have fun with it.
Oh, for
The sounds,
sure.
the sounds is just I figured out like a way you know, to do sounds over top of music.
Hmm.
And it's actually funny because I don't do karaoke. I refuse to do it. But like on here, I can like record it and send it out to people. And I know it's terrible, but that's kind of like why it's funny to me. Like I had like Rocky in here or Stefan, and we're doing like a sound together, and I'm like, whoa, no, we have to make it sound worse. I'm like, it needs to sound shitty. I don't want it to sound like we're trying our best. It needs to sound crackly and bad.
Oh
That's
god,
what
yeah.
makes it funny.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Because like speaking of Rocky, like I very recently, this might have been before Christmas, like I remember like his sub sound was him doing karaoke himself, and I think it was like purposefully done to be like as well done made to be done as so bad as possible so that people were going to sub to hear it again, kind of thing, which I think is like kind of
Yeah.
clever, because I remember your your follow notification used to be it was you doing Chewbacca's sound.
Oh yeah, yeah. I lost the Chewbacca sound, and like I can't. I've got to recreate it. It takes practice to
See,
do that.
that's, do you know what though? That's what I absolutely love about that, because like I I've been known to do that as well myself, and it's the sort of thing like, how do you realize you can do that? Like,
You
you
know what
just
I
kind of
did?
forget.
They People asked for the Chewbacca a long time ago, and I got on YouTube videos that taught how to do it, and I practiced it for a long time.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So, other people were playing Mario 64. I'm over here practicing my Chewbacca noise for these fuckers. That's
No,
okay.
for real. No, I just, yeah, I just love how these things kind of come out. And like at the end of the day, it is just a matter of being like, different ways of being engaging and entertaining and just funny, making people laugh, because that's
Yeah,
important. It's an important thing to do. Like, and if it's
yeah, for sure.
making silly
Well,
noises.
originally we didn't have Takefinity, right? So
Hmm.
I actually pride myself on this. I had 150 auto renewal subs before sounds were even a thing.
Oh shit.
And that was like at the top, the 5.99 price. Like it was hard to do that, but I had to grind. And what I did was I gave people prizes a lot, um, for like auto renewing. So I'll bring that back, whenever we try to get the Twitch going, for going over there. And you know, it it's a way to give back. Like, I don't know if people don't realize how much money we spend on this stuff. Like, I know they spend a lot of money on us, but like I reinvest so much,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
I
for
want to
sure.
constantly keep like my stream. I want my equipment. I want to top everything for everybody, because I want it to look and be the most entertaining possible for everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
Um,
Yeah, like I
so
think it is important to like when what you do get in, what you do get out of streaming, to go back into it. Like there's just
yeah,
at least so much of it anyway,
yeah,
like whether it be X amount going to like Tickfinity Pro if you have that, for example, or just ways that you can just constantly upgrade, make things better, because at the end of the day, like, if we didn't have the viewers, if we didn't have these people subbing or anything like that, then we wouldn't be able to, would be a lot harder anyway, at the very least.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I get it. People have spent a lot of money on me, and I'm forever grateful. It's not 100% about the money, and that's kind of why, I lowered my sub price when I had to make a new account, and I don't really want people to be solely focused on that. It is nice though, because you feel rewarded for your
Yeah.
time and effort. So like, I don't want to say that it isn't like, um, feels like some barometer of success. But it's not the end all be all. Like, I could have a lot of viewers and a lot of followers and not really make anything and be happy, because you're still, you know, delivering content and entertaining people. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. So speaking of then, you mentioned about the sort of moving over to Twitch. Like it's safe to say that it's been a bit of a turbulent week. With
Right.
the TikTok ban that lasted all of 8 hours or like 15 hours, whatever it might have been.
Right.
Like what's the plan like for you? Because are you gonna kind of continue on TikTok for as long as you can and slowly kind of migrate over? Because like I kind of feel like migrating from one to another is like, I can appreciate how fucking difficult it is, because
Right.
like a lot of people like in our space, people have their TikTok viewers, they have their Twitch viewers, very few kind of go between. So like what's your general plan like for this to date?
Yeah. For me, I always said I would just focus on TikTok and then move over later. But I should have moved over a while back, at least, and had both the spaces.
Hmm.
So I got a new computer, so I can do that now and do it, kind of flawlessly, um, and still be able to stream everything and keep everything. My internet is now where it needs to be. I had internet issues for like a year. So, uh, so there's a lot that goes into it, but I am ready to do both. I think I need to eventually make the transition. I'll be honest with you, I'm not like you have to think of what is your return on investment as far as like time spent. And I don't mean monetary value. I mean like, is it worth my time? Um, so is streaming and gaming worth my time? And I don't know 100% that it is the amount that I invest into it. So I've been thinking about doing my own thing and doing different stuff. So I'm not really sure where my future is, to be honest. I'm kind of in that how much do I want to invest type.
Yeah.
Now I see myself gaming and streaming. It's fun and I'll do it forever probably. But will I do it 7 nights a week or twice a day like I do? So I don't know if that's going to be real for me in the future or not. It just, if it kept just going crazy and growing a ton, then I would probably ride it out. But it's slow, right? So like if I stream and get 50 followers, do the math. How many times do I need to stream to get 100,000 followers?
Yeah, like, well, that's it, isn't
That's
it?
a lot.
Yeah, like,
So you can't stream and be like an influencer like that. Like you have to do something else. So what else do? You can go to YouTube and you can get views and try to get hits and go viral there. Do YouTube shorts. You can do TikToks and try to get viral on those short videos. There's certain things that you can do, but those are kind of, you almost have to get a little, there's an element of luck there and an element of blind passion where you just never quit until it hits.
yeah,
But you're not just going to stream every day and then turn around and be, this like, I have 1 million followers. Like, that's not going to work on TikTok. It doesn't do that.
no, definitely not. And like,
So,
that's the thing as well, because like if you're going from TikTok, let's say TikTok like does completely go eventually,
right.
you go over to Twitch, you are, because the way you have to look at it is like you're starting again from day one. Like even if you have
Sure.
like 75% of your current following comes over with you, you're still having to essentially put that sort of same work in again, but like from a day one perspective. So it is like naturally gonna take like more time. So of course, like it's natural to think like, is it gonna be worth it? Like,
Right.
and especially obviously, in your own personal sort of circumstance as well, like, kids, your dad, you work and everything too. So it's like sort of
Right.
finding that
Yeah.
balance as well.
Yeah, I look at things a little differently. Like if I was 21 years old, I would grind it out for 15 years probably, right? But I don't want to be 70 trying to make it, I've got my 100,000 follower. Here we are. Finally, guys, we did it. Let me go get my senior citizens coffee at fucking McDonald's on the way. Like, I don't want to be that guy, but like, you know what I mean? It's like I don't I don't want to be that guy. So it has to happen a little faster for me,
Yeah.
and there is impatience. I haven't, I'm not very patient when it comes to that stuff. But you know, I will say just something that personally is I have like blind passion. I really do try to just keep figuring out ways, and I'll change it up and do this and do that to try to figure out something, even if it's not streaming, if it's something else. I'll just keep trying stuff because that's just life. You got to keep going, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Like you have to kind of have things that just keep your mind working.
Yeah. I can't just go to a 9 to 5 every day. I don't know how people do it. I'll be honest. Like
Oh, dude,
that
neither
right
do I.
there, man, it makes me really like just thinking about that. It's pure depression for me. So but maybe I have ADHD. I don't know what it is, but like some people are really good at that and they can do that all the time, right? Like some people can go Monday through Friday and do their job and they're just looking forward to the weekend and that's their life and they're cool with it. I really like it. I struggle when I'm in a situation where I'm working for a corporation that's making millions of dollars or whatever, and it's like, I'm just getting my little crumb, but I'm
Yeah.
spending so much time, and life is so short, and you get this much of it,
Yeah.
and we're wasting it in some bullshit office or some bullshit place that we really don't care about, you know. So I would much rather work for me. So that's kind of what I would
Oh
always
yeah.
want to do if possible. I mean, that's the dream though, right?
Oh, for
So
sure, dude.
we're not saying
100%.
that that's going to happen, and I hope it happens for you, but it will it happen for me? I don't know, but I think the important thing is just to keep trying.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if I like look back and I'm like, okay, well, I tried.
Oh yeah,
I fucking
100%.
gave everything I could, and I wanted to get out, and I've tried my best. If it happens, great, but I'm just not going to sit around idly acting like it's just going to hit me. I'm going to try to at least go do something myself.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, like I can sort of speak from the whole 9 to 5 thing. Like I am in a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and it's like my sort of outlook on it is it allows me to do this. It allows me to have like a bit of a routine with this, which is always good. But yeah, like you'd rather sort of have your own more of your own time to do these, more of your own time to kind of because like otherwise you just kind of sort of if it gets too routine, can't really sort of have as much creative input as you would like because it's just sort of okay. There's this day I have to do this, have to do this, have to do this. You can't really plan for anything else. Um, and I mean, that works for some people, but like I don't know about you, but I get so bored so easily. All love
Yeah, I
routine.
mean, we have ADHD, man. It's okay. And
Yeah,
we can call it undiagnosed,
that's yeah.
whatever you want. But I literally, my attention is just, I can't do
Oh
it.
no,
I can't.
it's
It does. That stuff does not hold my attention. I'm more of a deep thinker than just a surface level guy.
mhm.
Like, think about people that do roofs every day and just go up there and break their back, and they go home and they're happy to drink a 12 pack and do it the next day. Like, I think that there is a happiness there that I don't know how I could never do it. Like, I
Yeah,
could do it for a year, and then I would be like, okay, this sucks. What are we gonna do next?
yeah.
You know, the person that does that, the long game, the 20, 30 years, like that's respect. I don't know how they do it, but
Oh, abs-
there is a hint of jealousy there though, because you want because it's like you have this perpetual discontent with life that they don't have. So content, you know, those people that just do their job every day and they love it.
yeah.
So yeah, there's a little bit of jealousy there, I think.
Yeah, because there's like nothing else that they would rather be doing because it routine just works for some people. And like I think that kind of relates to streaming as well because to take yourself as an example, for the better part of nearly 2 years you streamed exclusively Mario 64, but like now it's been a couple of months at least since you've done that and you're on the new Super Mario
Hmm.
Brothers Wii.
Well, actually, I did my first Mario 64 stream day before yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I haven't done it 3 months, and you missed it. And that's okay, you
Oh,
son of a bitch. But
apologies.
in your
It's been a
defense,
busy week.
in your in your defense, I think it was probably 6 a.m. your time. I don't even know. It was
Yeah,
late.
probably, like, yeah.
So, so I won't give you too much shit over it.
That's fair. Appreciate that.
But yeah, I'm started back up, and I tell you, man, it felt good. I was like, "We'll just do some 16-star runs." I haven't played 3 months, and I got a sub 19, and I have to
Oh,
say,
fuck.
I was totally happy. I was like, "Damn, I was just hoping for a sub 20." So I guess we're just getting the rust off, but it's such a fun game. And Mario 64 is so good because it's so hard.
Yeah.
Actually, I was just telling somebody this yesterday because they were like, "I'm firing it up, Mario 64," and I'm like, "Good. I hope you do fire it up because then you'll know how good I am." And I don't say that like because according to like let's just put this in perspective. Like you have the really good players,
Yep.
and the way that I do this is I compare it to the NBA. So like if you have a professional sport where there's only so many people in it, which NBA is like the hardest one because there's only a few hundred people that are in there, but there's a gajillion people that want to be in there.
Yeah. 100%.
So like those people, that's like your green sweeties, your top 50s, like even Beats is in there now. And you have those people that are on this next level. And then you have like college players, right? D League college players that are just swimming around. They're really good. Now, if an average person goes and plays with any of those college players, they're going to get destroyed.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it is if you're just an average, like if you don't play and you're just let's do a play, let's play the Mario 64, right? So it's like, well, yeah, you see how good college players are now.
Yeah. Oh,
And
for
that's
sure.
kind of the comparison because I'm definitely never going to be in the NBA, right? but but I'm still way better than you.
Yeah. Oh, for
Right?
sure.
And so
Yeah.
so like and just because you played it for so long, it's not like I'm like have this special talent. I'm just hard-headed and I played it a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the way it is. It's like so I encourage everybody, and that's why I put it like in the Discord. I'm like, here's Project 64, here's the game. Please go play it. You see how fucking hard it is. And when you see how hard it is, you'll see us out here and you'll be like, damn, those guys are trying hard. They're actually good, even though they suck. Even though I'm number 347th or whatever the fuck it is, you know?
Yeah, and it's so that's actually something that I absolutely love about it because you could have like a 19-minute time, a sub 20 time, for example. There will be people who have never seen speedrunning before who will be like, "Holy fuck, you are like," and they look at you like you're the fucking Renaissance or something like that, like the second coming, right?
Yeah.
And then it's just like,
Yeah.
listen, if you think this is good, have a look at the leaderboards and look at the ones who are doing it fucking 5 or 6 minutes quicker, kind of thing. It's like absolutely
Right.
yeah, like it does that does completely like highlight the levels of ability at the game, and I think that's like it is such an amazing thing about it because there's always like so much to learn. There's like it's ways to get better, and I think it does give you that
Yeah.
kind of like good feeling of
Right.
achievement, really, doesn't it? Like,
Well,
and
and the thing with Mario 64 too that's different than a lot of games is you can kind of have your own style or strategy. Now, it's been mastered, right? So we know the optimal movement.
yeah,
But like you can still do a couple little things differently than other people and still put up good times and still like maybe something's more consistent for you though. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't realize that a lot of like speed running is about consistency with Mario 64 more than like can I do the strat?
yeah,
Like you can do beginner strats and get 56, on a 70-star run, but like you can't fuck up. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you have to, and I mean that like your castle movement has to be perfect, all your movement, all your stars, like has to be perfect. But the strats are the easy strats,
yeah,
so like you can do it. I subbed out on easy strats, but eventually, when you do add those extra little moves and all those time saves, it does make for more leeway when it comes to fucking up. Because then, okay, well now I got this trick up my sleeve, I can still get a good time.
oh yeah,
So, there's an ebb and flow of it. There's different styles and ways that you can go at it, though. Different strategies. I always went for the like, I just want to be consistent at the easy strats and then kind of go from there. Um, but yeah, like there's certain little moves that I do and stuff that like I just invented because I just didn't like I didn't like how the strat was when I watched somebody do it and tried to mimic it, and I'm like, that's fucking hard. What if I do it this way?
yeah.
and it's a little easier. Not necessarily faster though.
But even still, like it's something that like, and it's a muscle memory thing, isn't it? Because it's something that
Right.
you have like put together based on watching someone say, "Well, I want to do it this way," and it works for you, and it kind of helps you with that
Yeah.
consistency. Like, sure,
And
it
the more you
loses a couple
watch,
of
the more you
seconds.
learn.
Yeah,
That's why I always tell Ty, I'm like, Ty, I learn every time I watch him because he does 70 so much. And it's like, I'm watching him and I'm like, oh, that little jump there. Oh, and I'll ask him and he'll tell me because he's nice. And it'll be like, oh, I do that because of this and that. Same thing with Beats or any of these guys. It's always nice to bounce ideas off each other
Yep.
and give each other ideas. And I can't help them with Mario, but like, I, I've helped them like with their streams and stuff like that, and the Discord, and just giving them like, oh, well, I did this or that, this tips, and so we always bounce ideas off each other. It's a great community.
Oh, for sure. And I think that's important to like streamers helping streamers grow together, like and all that kind of thing. And I think that's important because everyone knows each other. We're all friends here. It's like why gatekeep silliest things? Why gatekeep like something someone can do in a fucking kids game? Like it's just it's
Yeah,
just it makes it so silly.
gatekeepers are very weird. I find that to be like a really weird thing. Now I'm not just gonna just be Mother Teresa and just go out and help everybody in the world.
For sure.
But like there's a respect factor. I feel like if as long as people come at me with respect, I will tell anybody the world. Like
Yeah.
whatever I have in my head, good or bad, I'll give it to you. Uh, and try to help. Uh, you know,
Yeah.
but yeah, sometimes people do come at you disingenuously, and it does feel like you don't want to. Like, I don't know that I want to invest my time into helping you.
Mm. Oh,
That does
100%.
that does happen, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just like, is this worth my time? Because time is precious. So
Oh,
I
100%.
mean,
Like, and it's
I would
like,
much rather help somebody that it matters.
yeah, oh, for sure. And with what we do, like just playing a silly game to entertain people, there is absolutely sort of no reason that should ever be a negative or draining on mental health and things like that because, like, immediately everybody involved has like a common interest, and that is we're all watching based on love of streaming, love of particular games, or just the people playing the games kind of thing. Like
Right.
that's just that's a wholesome thing. Like it's sort of why kind of turn that into something toxic, which some people do to be fair, but
Yeah.
like that's just fucking
Yeah.
dumb.
I think over time you just kind of can feel out, and you're like, they're a little toxic. Just stay away from them.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
I just gotta stay away from them a little bit, but for the most part, I mean, I just try to love everybody because it's just like, you know, I'm just trying to make everybody laugh.
Oh,
That's the whole
100%.
point for me, is just to have fun. So and I do like playing the game. It is fun. But I love hanging out with the people. It's my life.
Oh yeah.
People don't realize how much we invest as far as just our time,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's literally my life. It's like, what are you doing tonight? I guess I'm fucking streaming. You know. So I think having like, if you had a significant other that was outside of the realm of streaming, I don't even know if they'd understand. It's almost like you have to figure out a way to, you have to have somebody that's really into it as well, because it's your life.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, I'm in the lucky position where my wife is very kind of supportive of it, and she's just like, but if she goes, you streaming tonight?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah," and she'd be like, "Oh, thank God," you know. Now whether she's saying that to get rid of me for a couple of hours, I don't know, but I mean, I take it as
Right.
support either way. And if you're
Yeah,
listening to this, I'm joking.
well, it's all about balance, right?
Oh, for
So
sure.
whatever you guys do for you all, that gives you that, like, where you get your time together, and then also you get your alone time and get to pursue your own hobbies and interests. That's a good relationship.
Oh,
So I hope
100%.
for the best for you. I hope that works out great.
Ah, thanks, man. It's brilliant so far. Like, so it's long may I continue, of course. It is nice to have the support because I think being able to just do it, like especially when you get into it when you're in a relationship, like not that you did it before, that's kind of where there needs to be like that more compromise. This is a new venture. Like I've been with my wife
Right.
for 5 years. and I've been doing this for so it's kind of a thing. Like there had to be compromise,
Right.
sort of thing. Yeah, like, but it is a sort of. I mean, to go back to what you're saying, like it is a huge investment of your time, and I mean, what I think a lot of people don't realize as well, maybe a few people who have sort of dipped their toes in the water of streaming, is that when you come off a 3 hour stream or something, it's like you are absolute fucking exhausted. Like, oh my god. Like the first ever couple of times I streamed, and like I watched like a good number of streamers before I did, but mainly it was Logan. Logan was like the one I watched the most. That's how I kind of got into streaming. And the first few streams I did, I was like, fuck, I need to lie down here. Like, oh my god, like,
Right.
and it's so
Right.
strange because at the end of the day, when you break it down to its core, you're sitting in your room or in whatever room you're in at your computer by yourself, talking to your screen at all these messages that are coming up, but you're having like so many conversations all at once.
Hmm.
You're focusing on your game, and then you're trying to be entertaining. There's so much going on, and
Right.
like when you're watching somebody do that, it just you kind of switch off from half of that and you're just like, this is entertaining. But when you
Right.
really look at it in terms of what the streamer is going through during a stream, like I mean, and it sounds so silly probably to the casual viewer, but like it is just, you end it and you just kind of like, I need him to just chill.
Absolutely. What's funny is like, so the first like two or three streams that I had that like really popped off. The very first stream I had that popped off, I'm looking and I'm like, oh shit, there's 500 people in here. And like, I'm like, they're not leaving. This is weird. And I'm sitting here playing, but I'm like, I only know a few stars. What's going on? I literally was so afraid to lose everybody that
Hmm.
I didn't get off. So I remember that I had to pee so bad, and I streamed for. I'm not joking. I had to pee so bad, and I streamed for 6 hours, and
Oh
I didn't move.
shit.
I didn't move, no pee break, nothing, because I didn't want to lose everybody. I'm like, if I get up, it's over. I'm like, I just stay on as long as I can, and I about pissed myself. If I had a
Oh,
fucking catheter in, I never would have got off.
I can 100% relate to that, like genuinely. I was streaming like one day of the week, like, and like I think I got like a raid in early in, and I had something like 25 people on Twitch, like right from the very beginning. And I was like 10 minutes into stream, and I was like, this is great here. Like, and all of a
Right.
sudden, my fucking stomach just starts twisting and turning, and I'm like, oh no. I'm like, oh
Oh
no.
my God,
But like
no.
it's just I had the exact same sort of mentality. It's like I can't leave because, if I have to like end or come back, or disappear, or whatever, I'm
Right,
gonna lose it all. So
right.
what I did.
Yeah, it's very easy to lose people. People's attention spans are like this.
Oh, for
You're
sure.
especially on TikTok. You're on an app where people do this.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
hundred
they're
percent.
30 seconds. So how do you get somebody to go, huh?
Oh well, what I
So like,
did was I clicked on the Wi-Fi button on my computer, and I disconnected the Wi-Fi, reconnected it, and I was like, "Oh no, guys, stream is broken!" And I fucking absolutely just nipped off to the toilet. I was absolutely just like, and I was sitting on Discord, like, "Oh, I'm really trying to fix the problem here, this, that, and the other," while I was just absolutely shitting my guts up just the next door. And then it came
there
back came back like 10 minutes later, and I was like, "Oh, it's finally back up. Yeah, let's go, guys. Crash Bandicoot. Whoa."
that's hilarious. There was this one time when it happened to me, and I was like, I'll be right back. And I just quickly did it. I don't remember. I put on some music or something, and I come back, and I was like, sorry, guys, I had to check the mail. And and ever since then, whenever I go do anything, they're like, "Are you checking the mail? Are you checking the mail? Hey guys, are you checking the mail? What are you doing, Hawk? Checking the mail? Did you go check the
uh,
mail? Did you check the mail?" And I'm like, "Bro, I literally just reached over here to grab something. I didn't check the fucking mail. I didn't take a goddamn shit."
oh, dude, no, honestly, and like I'm at the point now, right, where I've said it to too many people in their own streams that like every time if I even need a piss or I want to go get a drink while I'm on stream, I'm just so conscious to it because like I'm watching somebody stream and they have to go and do something. Now, obviously, some people do have to kind of go and do whatever on a stream, right? Every
Right.
time they come back without fail, even if they're away for 20 seconds, I'll be like, "Oh, did you enjoy your poo?" And then literally, like they're got no, no, shut up! I didn't go for a shit. No, 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 no. And then literally, like,
Well,
I get to the point where I'm sitting on stream and I'm like, I need more water. I need this. And I'm thinking, but if I go, even if I'm gone for 10 seconds and people can see that, I'm gonna have this right back in my face here, and I can't fucking.
that's hilarious. I'm more of like I don't like to leave because I don't want to lose the energy, and it's so funny too because I always say that and I'll leave and come back and sometimes there's more people. I'm like fuck you guys. Y'all were content without me this whole time. I'll just turn the live on and leave.
Yeah, more people are waiting for you to get back so they can
Right.
ask you if you've checked your mail.
Well, what's funny is that just shows you how fucked up TikTok's algorithm is
Oh,
because
dude, yeah.
basically what's happening is I'm like, I'll be right back, right? So then a bunch of people comment and then they're talking and chatting and then that kicks the algo. So then you get a push and then there's nothing to even show people. Like TikTok is so stupid.
Oh,
It's
for
hilarious
sure,
how it
yeah.
works.
Like, and that's actually what kind of amazes me about TikTok as like a streaming platform that people use because it's like what you said before. Like, you have about a 30-second window, if that, to maintain people's attention because streaming is long form content no
Yeah.
matter what way you look
Well,
at it, even if it's in a vertical
it's more
platform.
like less than 5 seconds.
Well, yeah.
I can't remember, like I could look at my metrics, but it's like the amount of people that view your shit less than 5 seconds is like the majority.
Yeah.
So like it's just it's so hard to get somebody to just click that. 30 seconds is great. 30 seconds will help your algo. A minute,
Oh,
the
yeah.
longer people watch, the more it helps. It's really weird how it works, but I constantly am trying to figure it out, and I can tell you that it is not ever going to be figured out because they don't even know what they're doing.
No,
And then on
100%.
top of that, they change it all the time. So,
Yeah.
I just want one platform, one media platform to stream on, or post on, or do anything where they're like, "Hey guys, if you want to get seen, this is what you need to do.
Oh,
This is what you
100%.
don't need to do.
Yeah.
Here's the fucking algorithm." And it would help everybody because we would all know what they want.
Yeah.
But we're just shooting, blind here. We don't know what's going on.
Oh, for sure. And like, to be honest, I think it makes a good conspiracy, that because there's the whole thing with TikTok, and it's like they're happy to sell the US division of TikTok, but they don't want to sell the algorithm. Maybe you don't want to sell the algorithm because they don't even it doesn't exist. It just is
Yeah.
luck.
Well, your algorithm also is one of those weird things. So like, okay, I'll go into it with Twitter. So when Elon bought Twitter, everybody thought he was going to fix the algorithm, but he didn't fix anything because it's embedded within the code so deep, and there's so many little things that they have done to fuck the algorithm that now it's completely fucked. He can't go back and undo that. You would literally have to start from scratch, and that's not what he did, right? So the algorithm's still fucked on Twitter.
Oh
Like
yeah,
it still is. It's completely fucked. And Dorsey fucked it over because he's a dumbass. And whatever. I don't care. It's just Twitter sucks. X sucks. And I'll live on that. I'll die on that hill.
oh,
Now
100%.
TikTok is getting like that. Hold on a second.
Enjoy.
Hey, get over here. Hey, I'm sorry. Sorry.
All good, bro. All good.
Well, he's yelling at Rocky, I think.
Ah, I see.
He
Oh, fair.
hears them. Anyway, but yeah, TikTok, same way. It's so embedded. They've totally, with the whole, like, the way that they figured out how to, you know, stifle our speech and what we say and this and that gets affected. It's all you can't undo it now. It's done.
Oh,
Like it's
100.
cooked. It's
Yeah.
cooked into the algos. There's a million of them. They can't undo them. But it's still like we're getting little crumbs of what once was awesome, and we're just hanging on by a
Oh,
thread.
dude, 100%. And I think, and 100, yeah, completely agree because I think as well that that kind of entices more doom scrolling because, based on that, you're trying to like sift through all the garbage, all the bullshit, just to try and find something that kind of,
Right.
that you enjoy about it. And because on Twitter as well, like I 100% agree, it's exactly the same. So I would use Twitter like quite a bit, but only 100% for like gaming stuff. And
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
it's the sort of thing. It's like it's all engagement bait. It's all, with the odd sort
Oh
of
yeah.
fucking Elon Musk just has to appear on every single person's For You page or timeline, whatever it is on Twitter. And then as a result of that and his like sort of political agenda and stuff, you then get
Sure.
people like Alex Jones and all kinds of other right wing people. And it's just kind of like, okay, I'm not
Right.
looking at these things. I've never once hinted at it, but obviously it's an Elon thing and it's like, whatever. I don't have to look at it. I don't care. It doesn't matter if I agree or not, which I don't. But
Right.
again, but it's like,
Right.
and
Well,
then
yeah.
but
Back
it's
in the
just
day,
bullshit.
I had a Twitter, and nobody will know this because it doesn't exist anymore. But like, I used to be really huge on Twitter, and it was crazy back then. I mean, this is like 2015, and it used to, like, you could throw in a hashtag, and I mean, it was just, it would rain retweets.
Hmm.
And you can't do that anymore. Like, it went away in probably 2018. Like, Dorsey fucked it over. It's really weird because it's all about, what am I gonna do to fix? It's all political to
Yeah,
them.
hundred
Everything was
percent.
political, and it's just like, that's fine, but we're just out here like trying to have fun and not be censored.
Yeah,
you know,
no, and
like
that's it's
like
such a
the thing about Twitter that was so awesome is that I could take somebody that I really like is a piece of shit, and I could quote tweet them and call them a piece of shit. That's why it was awesome. And then you could get 100,000 fucking retweets because now some celebrity, has some anonymous asshole just call them out on their bullshit, and now they look like a fucking idiot. It was great. Like, the engagement that you could have with celebrities was crazy, crazy.
Mhm.
Because, like, you could target somebody. Like, I could go, okay, well, this person right here is really, they're hot, and I don't like the way they're doing things. So I'm gonna put alerts on them, and I have, X amount of memes ready. And as soon as they post, I'm going fucking first reply, and I'm annihilating them. And you could troll all day on Twitter. It was great.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, and I think though, I know like obviously that has been kind of clamped down on and stuff, and like you get reported for the simplest things now,
Bro,
especially if it
I'm
doesn't
still a
go.
troll. I'm
Oh yeah,
still a troll. I can't help it. Like, I go on comments on TikTok, and I'm trying to fucking roast people that are doing videos. I don't know why. It's just like
just
there's a
happens.
quest. It's a quest to like put zingers on people. I can't really figure out why I do it, but it's fun.
It just
It's just
is,
like,
yeah.
I think I'm just trying to throw a zinger on a douchebag and then like make people laugh out of it. I don't know. Maybe that's a dickhead thing to do, but
No, but I tell you what though, like something I like about Twitter now is the fact that like community notes is now a thing, and it's now more of a thing than it
yeah,
ever was before. So like literally, it's like it's just the best thing ever. You'll have like a tweet coming up with something. It'd be probably some dumb shit political activist or something saying God knows what to do with their agenda,
right.
and then all of a sudden underneath it, it'll just be like, no, this is not true. This was debunked by this in this, and like here's your motherfucking receipt, dick. And it's just like people getting put in their place like in the best possible way.
Absolutely. They said that Zuck is going to do community notes now. I heard that, and that's hilarious
I
because
think it'd be brilliant.
he was the one that wanted to debunk everything with Snopes and all this dumb shit, and you're like, bro, like,
Oh, dude.
just
Like,
just wait. It's like I never liked the way that he would debunk shit, because he would just use another biased source to debunk a biased source, and it's just constant political battles, and I was just like, dude, go on, man.
but
Nobody cares about that shit.
can you though imagine like on Facebook community notes, like where some middle-aged mum is putting up fucking minion memes and that gets community noted? Like, come
Maybe.
on, like that
Who
would be
knows?
fucking gold. And like, I mean, I don't think anybody under the age of 50 uses Facebook anymore. I don't know. I
Yeah,
still have
yeah.
it. Don't like, scroll through it the odd time, get the odd bit of odd good meme.
Right.
But like,
Facebook is just Doc's book. That's all it is.
yeah,
Like
100%.
literally, it's just where people go to dox people. It's like I'm just gonna go in here and find out how many kids you have, what's your life like, when were you born, how's your family, and it's like, no, dude, I shut that shit down.
Oh,
Like I don't
100%.
even my shit's deleted. Like I have one, but it doesn't have any info on it. I
Yeah.
fucking erase it all because I had weird ass people in my Discord searching my name and shit, and I'm like, fuck you guys, I'm out. Oh, I'm not doing
100%.
that.
No, absolutely. Like
So,
I
I got kids. I'm not trying to, it's just weird, you know?
Yeah, and I think as well, when you are when you do stream as well, and you are in the sort of spotlight to so many different people across so many different countries in the entire world, you have to have that kind of secrecy. You have to have that privacy because you never know who is gonna want to try looking and who is gonna be like, oh look, I found you kind of thing, and it's just like, yeah, dude, that's fucking creepy. Get the fuck out of here. Um,
Right.
yeah, and like for me though, it's like I got my Facebook like kind of, I mean, my Facebook's not the hardest thing to find in the world, but like all the information on it kind of like what nobody doesn't know it kind of thing.
Right.
Like I don't post on it, everything's all private as well. But like I just keep it for just middle-aged person drama kind of. Like especially because like so the where I live, it's like such a small, like tiny country here.
Right.
And literally like local news, like, there's so many like local news that come up, and funniest, you find yourself literally at like 2 o'clock in the morning scrolling through like a 400 comment thread about like people basically blaming migrants for everything whenever it's on like on a post about a local getting closed down or something like that. Like just,
Right.
I
Right.
can't explain it any other way, but it's just gold
Right.
to look through, and it's like the most uneducated fucking dickheads.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
I used to have a Facebook so like I figured I gamed the system. I used to have a really big Facebook page a long time ago, and like I can tell you how I gamed it. And basically what I would do is, and this was just like a meme page, and I had it like just loaded with followers.
yeah,
And basically, what I would do is I would join all these groups, right? Because you have all these Facebook groups, and then I would share my page's post to those groups, and then people would go onto your page from the group,
yeah.
and you do that in like 50 groups, and then all of a sudden you're getting like all the shit. And I would have like I had a few videos with millions of views from that. It's really actually it was pretty wild, but Facebook sucks, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
as soon as you have anything that's just a remotely edgy or violent, like if it was just somebody getting, beat up or something funny, then it was just like, oh, we're taking your page down. And I was just
Yeah.
like, you know what? Fuck you guys. Like, I'm over
Yeah.
here just trying to make people laugh.
That's when you go on to Twitter.
Like, can I please have this midget fight on my page so we can all laugh at it? Like, I don't why's that bad? Like,
Yeah, like I know that's that's the thing, and I genuinely believe that like context is an important thing with that. Like you're looking at something because it's funny, right? Take away the context. Take away you're not trying to do it in an offensive way, to be offensive or anything like that. It's just because it makes you laugh.
right.
No, obviously
Well,
there
no,
has
I
to be
like
it
I
has to be a
like
kind of line as well, but
I
yeah.
like being offensive. That's funny. Offensive is funny. I don't mind it. People are just too, and people use that term snowflake or whatever. I don't like that term, but like, uh, people just need to be a little bit more. You can't. Comedy dies when everybody's
Mm.
sensitive.
Yeah,
So
like I mean, unless it kind of like bears like
like
something really really personal to them, I think. But I do think people
no,
do
I
find
even
it
then,
funny.
like I'm more of like the roast. Like if you ever watch those like roasts on
Hmm.
TV, the Comedy Central roasts and
Yes, yeah.
whatever, that's me. Like that's the kind there's there's approximately 0.5 seconds that you can wait after something tragic happens before you can start making fun of it. Like that is just how comedy is.
This is very true. That's true. Do you know what? I'm not being funny. It is like that. That is a very true thing. Do you ever remember the? I'm not sure if this was a thing in the States, but like there was a website that it was like a shock humor website called Sickopedia.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like literally anything in the world could happen, and go on to that page and immediately about it. And it was like kind of you just gotta Hi.
Right.
How is
Right.
do people have like dossiers of like jokes ready to go just in case certain things happen? Like what the fuck, man? It's just
Right.
I
Right.
mean,
Well,
fair play for the
you
creativity of
can,
some people, like I have to say.
yeah, you have those like those shot in the cannon as soon as something happens memes that are good. And then you have that like it's been freshly baked, it's still fresh, but there's been a little bit of time for people to think about it. So that
Yeah.
like day 2, day 3, and that's where the good stuff is. That's where you find that real like that person really thought about this and this is a real fucking roast. And you're like, God damn, that's savage. Maybe it's just the desensitization that we have over everything that makes us go so hard on comedy now. But
Mm.
I'm just riding the wave.
No, for sure. Like I have to say, like it's such a strange thing. I think it's kind of coming in waves, like that whole kind of type of comedy, because like it was obviously, like 15 years ago, it was just normal, like, abhorrent joke, kind of like, oh, you shouldn't joke
Right.
about that, but okay, whatever, this, that, and the other. Dark humor was kind of just normal. But then obviously people started to get more sensitive to sorts of things and this, that, and the other. And, you know, like, again, fine, people then kind of sort of change the perspective on things. But like at the same time, at this point in time now, people are kind of fighting back against that, and they're kind of making making their humor even darker than it ever was, as like an attempt to sort of go against. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
it's like two different things have come in full circle at the same time, and they've collided, and it's like kind of crazy. Like I like I literally
No, you're right.
scroll through
There's
Instagram and
always
all sorts of shit coming up. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is the sort of stuff that I would have joked about when I was like fucking 15. Why is this happening now?
absolutely whenever there's like this opposing force, there's always this equal and opposite force. So like if you're telling people that they can't talk, then there's a group of people that are like, fuck you, I'm gonna talk.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just kind of how it is. So now you've got, very polarizing opinions of how we should live our lives. Um, but I'm more of the opinion that I would much rather live with comedy than without. And that's kind of where I'm at on that. I don't want some boring life where I'm so worried about offending people. I think offending people is actually good because it keeps a little honesty and people get to accept things too. It's like, okay, yeah, I am fucked up, but we're here, you know?
For sure. I do think as well. So like, it's the sort of thing I think for me personally, like if somebody was to come to me and be like, I don't like what you said, that's offensive. Like, look, okay, I'm sorry that's offensive. No, that's the thing I don't want to go out of my way to hurt people kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes people do, and that's just the thing.
Right.
I think it's a kind of,
Right.
for people to come to you with that kind of honesty and be like, look, I don't like what you
Yeah.
said. I don't like this. That's not my type of humor. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
that's totally fine. You kind of do have to compromise sometimes with like people's sensibility, depending very much on who it is. Like, some kind of if
Absolutely.
it's some
You know,
stranger who's
I've
just kind of fucking blowing in and blowing out, it's like whatever, this is just who I am kind of thing. Or this is a part of my humor, part of what I do. And especially like on stream, you know, it's like we are ourselves on stream, for the most part, like a lot of people are, but at the same time, it's like different parts of us that are kind of, turned up a little bit more, amplified, others are like turned down a little bit kind of thing, just to kind
right.
of create that sweet spot of just entertainment.
Absolutely. Who these there's something too. You've got to, and I would say this to everybody: just quit apologizing so much. I'm terrible at it about where, oh, I'm sorry I did that, and da da da. But the truth is that like we need to use our apologies a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
And if I offended you, I'm not sorry. I mean, I'm just being like, I'm being for real. Like, I hate that my joke didn't like hit well, right?
Yeah.
And that sucks. But I'm not like over here where I tried to offend you and now
Yeah.
I'm asking for forgiveness, because that wasn't my intention. My intention wasn't just to like hurt your feelings and ruin your day. That's never my intention. You know what I mean? So if you don't have bad intentions, you really shouldn't apologize so much. And that's
Yeah.
just something we do too much. Saying sorry all the time is just, it's just a shitty way to live.
No, 100%. Like, I mean, because I think
But
it's
you do have to say sorry some. I mean, yeah, we do fuck
yeah.
up.
Oh, for sure. And
You
there,
can't be one of these I never apologize
yeah.
people, you know?
Like, and the thing is, like, when you're apologizing for something, you have to apologize for, you fucked up big. But like, I yeah, because I kind of think if you do apologize for everything, like that kind of thing where you're like feel like you're walking on eggshells, feel like you're constantly going to be like a burden on somebody, and like it's the sort of thing. It's like very much like you say, it's no way to live. No
Yeah,
way to live. You're
yeah,
constantly worried that you're going to hurt somebody's feelings, and like apologizing for basically just being you whenever nobody's asking for that and nobody's like thinking the person should apologize, kind of thing. It's
right,
like
right. At the end of the day, my comedy is not for you, and that's okay. It's like
yeah,
it's the internet, and you can voice your opinion, and that's great. If you don't want to watch, that's okay too, you know.
yeah,
And if nobody watches me, then maybe I need to reassess and reevaluate what I'm doing. But or maybe it's not for me. So those all these things have uh, some type of reaction, consequence, whatever you want to call it. So,
yeah,
but I do think just trying to be a good person and if I try to be out there enough to where people know me and they know that I'm
yeah.
not like attacking them, and a lot of it is just comedy, and I think
Okay.
that's important.
Yeah, like knowing your audience is just as important as your audience knows. Like,
Absolutely,
because
absolutely. Like,
me and my mods on Twitch and TikTok, like the way we talk to each other, you would think we all hate
right,
each, we would think we all hate each, but it's the
right,
exact opposite of that. But
right.
the we,
Well, and so there's some comedians out there like, you could look at like Daniel Tosh. Like that dude can say literally anything, and it just doesn't matter. Like there's certain people that you just know who they are, and it's like, huh? Or like Theo Vaughn. Like Theo Vaughn can literally say anything. It can be
oh god,
completely
yeah,
racist. It's totally racist, and everybody's just like, like it's
yeah,
like because it's just like they know that he's just like some kind of hick dude that's just out for a joke, and it's just like everybody's laughing about it. But it's like what
yeah.
he
It's
said was
such a
it's like what he said
strange,
was wild, but
yeah.
okay.
It's such a weird double standard, isn't it? Because like it's like when he says it is fine, but like anybody who doesn't have that level of fame says
Yeah.
some things like that, it's like no, the guy's a
Right. And
racist.
that's kind of the way, yeah, that's kind of the way I am with TikTok. It's like I look at these people, especially comedians, they are untouchable on here and they say the most crazy shit. But I can be on a live, and if I said that shit, I'm out. You know what I mean? It's like where's I just want equality here, guys.
100%. Like it's such a weird, like I don't know. I think it's just a weird world we live in. And I think the whole TikTok brain rot thing has kind of taken over a little bit. So people are kind of being
Yeah.
exposed to all these like different like sort of I suppose online community. Okay? And
Right.
like a lot of people kind of feel like that they can do that too and think it's going to translate as well. But the fact of the matter is, like, and it's
Right.
yeah.
Right. Well, tell me. Let me ask you this: did
Yeah.
your algorithm change at all from when US got banned? Did it mess with your stuff?
Not that I've noticed. Not that I've noticed because I have seen a few people talking about this, but I haven't actually noticed anything. I still get some of the same things, but I I don't think I really use TikTok enough, like in terms of like doom
Hmm.
scrolling, to really have
Right.
noticed. Like I get like a lot of clips from the TV show Suits for some reason, I don't know why. I just keep watching them. But
Okay, so low key, I love that show, and I'm not big on TV shows. That's one of like the three that I know in the past 20 years, and I
yeah,
actually like that show.
yeah. Like I get
Harvey's
clips
the
from it.
shit.
Yeah. Do you know? And do you know what as well? Actually, so like that show, like I think it was either last year or the year before, became one of the most watched shows like on Netflix, and I
Yeah.
think it was because of all the TikTok videos that kept coming out.
Well, you know that didn't they get rid of Harvey? I think in the last or so, I can't remember the last
Mike,
season.
Mike, they got rid of.
Mike, yeah.
Yeah,
It
because
whenever they did, I never watched the last season. It was trash.
yeah,
I was just
the
like, I'm
last
done.
two seasons were
Yeah,
not great. Like,
no,
and
I'm
then
done.
like a season, I think the last season, it stopped taking it stopped taking itself seriously at all. Like
Yeah,
it was as almost if they were all living in like fucking dreamland, and it was weird.
yeah.
I mean,
There's only
you
it's
gotta
like
watch it through the
you
end, but
you know how you are with those hospital shows. It's like there's a recipe with these TV shows. So it's like you have your ongoing like story that goes, from the entire season and just keeps
Mhm.
going. And you get those sprinkled into each episode.
Oh yeah,
And then during the episode in the meat, you get another little side story that happens each episode. So in those hospital shows, you're getting, what patient had some weird shit happen to him this time. And with Suits, it was like, what crazy, like, lawsuit is being
yeah.
done that we have to get out of. So I found that to be more of an interesting take on that recipe for having seasons and having a show go, for a long time.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I do get the hospital ones too. Like I think it's more on my Facebook reels. I get like House and
Well, so House I thought was the best one
oh
as
yeah,
far as the recipe goes
it was so
because
weird.
it's like it's on steroids, right? So it's
Yeah.
like not only are we going to do, these weird hospital things, but like my entire existence is based on the most obscure hospital shit that could possibly happen to anybody. So
Yeah, absolutely.
it's like a hospital show on steroids. And he's a complete pompous ass. So it
Yeah,
is a funny show.
it's
I don't hate House. I mean, I just
no,
I can't dedicate myself to an hour episode for 10 seasons that 25 shows a season.
yeah,
Like that's fucking nuts. Who's gonna invest so much time? Like
yeah.
I don't know how people do it. I really don't. It took
No,
me so long to get through Suits, and I mean, it took me years.
yeah. I know I'm the same. Like, and especially I think as well that's kind of why the like the short form versions of these like TV shows is like good and bad at the same time. Like I've never watched like really properly watched House, but I've seen like just a load of the clips, and
Yeah.
it's one of them things. The thing I like about that is like you can essentially just build your own kind of narrative on these things.
Hmm.
So literally like with House, it's like he'll come in and he's absolutely off his head on pain medication. You'll just see like they can't
Yes.
figure out what's wrong with this patient, like they come in with a sore knee or something, and he'll like look and be like, "Are you tired? You have fibromyalgia." Then he just fucks off
Right.
and
Right.
goes and like
Right.
pops some more pills. It's like kind of, and they're all like racking their brain for like 45 minutes, and he just comes in on his
Yes.
walking stick, just like, "Yeah, you have fibromyalgia. You're also a piece of shit."
Whoa, whoa. Your house impression sounds fucking good, by the way.
Thank you.
Like, am I the only one that thinks that? You sound, I guess it's because I can't see you and I just hear it. And I'm just like, you sound like fucking house.
Oh, yeah.
You did good at it.
Thank you,
That
man.
was a good impression. I makes me want to
um,
practice it.
and then there's like, so I get that, and then I get like the odd Good Doctor sprinkled in as well, which is just kind
Yeah,
of like, and I've never seen that show, but I see clips of it. But every single time that
right.
comes up, it just really makes me want to go back and search the "I am a surgeon." You've ever seen that video?
No, I don't know what you're
Oh,
talking about.
dude, fucking like after this, seriously, like I'll go search on TikTok and just search "I am a surgeon." It's just, I don't know
Okay.
why. It's just
Well,
fucking brilliant.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, circling back, these shows, I can't really dedicate a lot of time to them.
Yeah.
I do like the shows now where it is a few episodes in a season, and then a few. So like
Yeah.
Yellowstone is really good at it. Well, they were until Costner and whatever. But like uh, they were really good at having these 5, 6 episodes a season, and it's like you don't. It's just like a mini series at that point. It's not
Yeah.
really this long, drawn out series. Another one that I really like was The Bear. I don't know if you've seen The Bear. The Bear is so
Haven't
fucking good.
I haven't seen it, but like I've been
If you
recommended it
like
so many
cooking,
times. Yeah.
it's insane. Like it is. If you've ever worked in a kitchen or dealt with that stuff, I mean, it's just such a good. It's the way that it's filmed. It's just amazing.
Hmm.
And carries a great soundtrack. It's just it's probably one of the better shows that's out. So, but that being said, I haven't seen them all, so I don't watch TV that much.
Yeah.
I'm like putting on an old movie and falling asleep. That's usually me, and I'm waking up and fucking Godfather's on or something crazy, and that's okay. You know,
Yeah, just like literally flick something on Netflix, wake up 5 hours later, not knowing where you are, but all you're seeing is, are you still
yeah,
watching this? Are you just the
you,
Netflix passive aggressive? Are you still watching this, you lazy piece of shit?
Well, what I do is I fall asleep with Paramount on, and it's not a good idea because it keeps going, and it just chooses at random what the fuck it
Oh,
wants you to
right.
watch, and I can watch like the other day I woke up and there was like The Exorcist or something was on, and somebody was sticking a cross in a between. It was fucking wild. I'm like, that's not what I want to wake up to, man.
No, that's be a
Like,
nightmare fuel.
choose better, Paramount.
They must
Like
have known you'd fallen asleep at that point. So it's like, how can we fuck with this guy?
Yeah, like what? Choose better. Choose better.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is with that, but I do like the fact that it doesn't ask a question. It just keeps playing shit. But it's
Yeah.
wild. I don't know what I'm gonna get.
Yeah, you'd almost rather it does ask you if you want to continue, like. But see on the topic of like films and TV that we've just been talking about. So, tell us a little bit about your hobbies and interests then outside of stream. Uh, Things that maybe
Yeah.
people might not know about you, just sort of like your community, things like that. Just what do you like to get up to outside of like your stream?
Yeah. I mean, so I have a 40-hour work week. Then I have about 20 to 30 hours in streaming. And then I have about 6 hours of sleep. And what is there left?
This is true.
Like what is there? I don't really have a lot of free time, and it's just the truth. But I do like to cook when I get a chance. I try to cook at least a few times a month. I love cooking because I find it very therapeutic, and I like the creativity, especially if you're on top of a stove. Being able to add and subtract and time stuff, and there's a whole, I feel like food is an art. So like I do like art a lot. People don't really know that about me, but I actually have my bachelor's in art.
Oh, nice.
Um, but I don't really do anything with it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it's just there. But like I appreciate it. I love I try to get out with the dog when I can, but man, this winter's been brutally
Oh,
cold.
for sure.
So I look forward to the warmer weather and being out. I really like to be out,
Yeah.
and breathe the air when I can. That's that doing the meetups, hanging out with people like me and Rocky are going to Mardi Gras. I love traveling. So yeah, just imagine me and Rocky on Fat Tuesday in New Orleans. That's gonna actually happen. Thanks to Jenna Bean, wherever the fuck she's at. I don't know if she's in here, but uh thanks to her, that's going to actually happen. So we just did a trip to Nashville. I do love concerts. I'm a big concert goer. I went to a huge festival this last year, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like it was wild. I probably lost a year of my life on that festival. It was pretty crazy. But I try to catch shows too when they come in local, or I'll travel to them if I have to.
Yeah.
Um, I love rock, so I like pretty much any kind of rock band, even sometimes country it could be, or folk, rock, any of that stuff. I like if it's a good band and they're around. I do want to see them. So music is a huge part of my life when it comes to doing that. I like being in the energy
Yeah.
of a concert. It's kind of one of those things where I don't know. There's nothing like it. I don't. It's hard to explain, but
Yeah.
the energy you get from a concert is just it's indescribable, especially if it's a good show.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no, like I
Yeah.
couldn't agree more. Like I think I've been to nearly like 150 concerts, and for real,
Right.
it's just that inexplicable thing. You leave and you just think, holy fuck! It's
I mean,
like
have you gone to Glastonbury?
I haven't. No, never actually been to a festival.
Really?
Yeah, never been
Dude,
to a festival.
I've seen Glastonbury so many times on on TV, and I'm like, man, that looks fun.
It's like I think it's like the UK's Coachella is probably maybe one way to
Yeah,
describe it.
yeah. Yeah, and there's always badass bands there, and I'm like, man, I would really like to go to that.
Yeah,
That would be such
it's
a cool adventure
such
to
a
go
big
across.
mixture of bands as well. Like, you
Yeah,
might just get like you know, everyday but our chart topper of the year kind of thing headlining, or then
right,
like more recently like Foo Fighters, and I think Metallica
right. Or
did as well one time recently as
I
well.
know the Killers have been there. Like,
Yeah,
there's all kinds of cool bands have been there, and I would definitely like to go to something like that. That would be fun.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what kind of adventures I'm gonna get into this year. I know that we have, like I said, we got the Mardi Gras, we got a Salt Lake City trip again, and we're gonna do a beach trip maybe. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, I love travel. Travel's fun. Just going to different sites and seeing things. I love adventure.
Hmm. That's an important thing as well because I think one of them things you have to really appreciate your surroundings. Get out and see kind of, and obviously being in America, it's like a lot harder to kind of see everywhere because big place like
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
you
I've
know
been to, I think, 42 states.
oh shit
So
wow.
I've been to a lot of them.
Hmm.
There's a couple in New England and the Pacific Northwest, and obviously Alaska and Hawaii, but I've been to pretty much all the others.
Sick.
Um, yeah, when I was young, we did a lot of traveling as a kid, so I got to see most of the national parks, and I've been back to a lot of these places too over time. So, I look to go back. I love travel, so it's just fun to get out and get away. I don't like being in the same spot. I get stir crazy.
No, for sure, for sure. Like, and that's the thing. It's like I think in America, it's like you never have to leave because you can take like a sort of 6 hour flight, still be in the same country, but it feels like you're somewhere entirely different.
Right.
Like
I would I would like to do something like in Europe though. So how
mhm.
many countries have you been to?
God, off the top of my head, couldn't tell you. It's definitely in the double digits, but I couldn't tell you. Like Europe, like Greece, Italy, France, Spain. Never been to Netherlands, Switzerland. It was like Ireland, technically, if you want to get political about it, but we'll best not.
Right, right, right.
God, trying to think now. God, it's fair few. Poland. Poland is definitely another one I've been to. Been to a couple times. Oh God,
Okay. You go to
Montenegro,
some Polish. Do you go into
Croatia.
some Polish castles?
I even.
There's there's so many
I drank
there's
a
so
lot of whiskey when
many
I was in Poland.
there's so many castles in Europe. I want to
There
go see all
is,
the
yeah,
castles.
even in Ireland, there's tons of castles as well. Like tons of castles.
Oh
Like
yeah, you all have the coolest
yeah,
castles.
so many, so many. Like, yeah, I've been I definitely. I think I've been double digits of countries, especially like worldwide. But yeah, it's like on my head. I'm not too sure, but you're because like I think the equivalent to be like traveling like like within the U.S. It's like kind of for us here. It's like traveling within Europe kind of thing.
Right.
Because we like
Yeah,
I could
absolutely.
take like an hour and a half flight and I can be in
Right.
France and
Right.
you
The
can
thing though, like, and this is just where I can kind of just there's a difference, right? So
yeah.
in America, like, you can fly 6 hours, just like you said, and I can go way across the way, and I can get off the flight. And what is there? There's a McDonald's, a Burger King, and like, it's the same shit. Like, you guys, when you go across a border, it's a new fucking country. And it literally is. A lot of it's different languages, and you have so much culture. Like, you have to remember that in America, we started like, 1600s, whatever, however far back you want to go
Yeah.
for like when people started settling. there's not that, but like you can't go into an old downtown and be like, oh, this house is 3,000 years old. Like that's not a thing.
Yeah, of
You know what I
course.
mean? Like, or this church is 1,000 years. Like that's not a thing. Everything's a few hundred years old tops.
Hmm.
And that's like cool to see for us, but like y'all are on another level. Like, like there's like oh well, this was conquered by these people then, and then these people, and then these people, and then these people, and now we're here because
Yeah.
everything's so old.
Oh, 100%. There's a lot of
So it
preservation here, like for sure.
yeah. So you know it's seeing the land is cool in America and seeing the sights is cool, but the culture and the enrichment of like the history isn't as near as awesome as it is Europe. Europe is another,
Well, that being
like it's
said,
something we can't compare.
yeah. Well, that being said, if you ever want to get like a taste of full global world culture, just go to the UK because we fucking stole everything.
I hear that London is very eclectic. Like people say that they go to London and they don't eat British food. Like all the other food is the good food.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Like, I mean, because it's funny actually because I've noticed that recently there's been like a sort of a meme where it's like Americans like slandering British food, like all this sort of like
Right.
Americans really realizing what British people eat. Like, I never realized that beans on toast was an incredibly unheard of thing in America.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
that's not something we do.
good shit, man. It's good shit.
And I've noticed that people in Europe don't really do anything with white gravy, and I'm just
Yeah,
like,
we don't have white gravy. We
yeah,
like
white gravy? Like, man, that's one of the first things I learned how to cook. Put some white gravy on some biscuit. Man, biscuit and gravy in the
like in
morning,
the
it's
a
unbeatable.
biscuit, like what you call a biscuit to us is like a savory scone. And like what you call a cookie is a biscuit to us. So
Right.
like would you what would you say a Kit Kat is? That a chocolate
Um,
bar, is it? Or
it's a candy bar, but it can, it I don't know. It's a little weird because it's a square. It's not really bar, but it's little bars within the square. You know what I
mm-hmm.
mean? Or
Yeah.
rectangle, whatever. So candy bar,
Yeah, fair, fair.
little
Yeah.
bitty mini candy bars.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
and that is something that fascinates me is like the dialect difference. Just like certain things mean different things.
Yeah, well, it's like fish and chips.
Yeah.
Chips or fries, and it's like, well, I don't know. Then what's a chip?
Yeah, a chip is like
I'm asking, what's a chip?
yeah, it's like a thicker cut like fry.
No, 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 no. But what do you call chips? Well, we call
Oh,
potato
oh
chips.
yeah,
What are chips?
crisps.
Crisps. Crisps. I'm not doing that. I'm not going there. Chip is better than crisps.
Yeah, crisps. It's a crisp because
How
it's
many
like
S's do we need? I'm not doing it.
a few.
I'm
We
not
need at
doing
least
it.
two. At least two.
It's
We
like
like to fuck with people with lisps. What can I say?
you have to look at this. You have to you have to get with the times. It's just like how
Ah,
y'all still use color with a U. Like get the fuck out of
it's our
here.
fucking language. You fucking
Get the
stole it.
fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here with this U. Who needs it?
This is
I
fucking
always
hell. This is like fucking aluminium and aluminum all over again.
I always tell people the history of the U. So whenever they were we invented the printing press. We decided that, like people would purposely take the U out or other words too
Yeah.
because you were charged by the letter.
Oh,
And
right. Okay.
then yeah, and then it just disappeared because it's fucking useless.
That's what the
Just
U's for.
saying.
That's what the U stands for. Is fucking useless.
Yes, U for useless. And that is like that's what it is. But
The fair point.
that's okay. You guys, it's just like you got to hold on. Y'all
Yeah,
hold on to
that's
it
it.
so much. Just gonna hold on to this word. We need that U. It
So
makes it better.
what you're telling me here is
Up
that
to you.
what you what you're telling me is that you've taken our language and modified it for the better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
Fair. You know,
Definitely.
Yeah, it still is. It still is kind of though. I don't. I understand why now. Okay, fair enough. Do you know what? I have learned something today because I never knew that was the origins behind why you guys don't use you in a lot of words. But then
Hmm.
this could go on forever. To be honest, like this could, because there's so many fucking words now that.
Yeah.
But then I think though it kind of also just brings it down to the fact that English is a complicated language because it's just yet another thing that was stolen from other cultures, and they've
It's so
created a
awful.
yeah.
English is awful. And it's so crazy that we forced every other language to speak our shitty
Oh
language
fucking hell, man!
by
Honestly,
force.
I know, and like and the thing is, I am like that's something I'm incredibly hyper conscious of because I feel so bad anywhere I go, and like obviously like going to like different European countries where they speak their own language first. I
Yeah,
always try, because it was like it's like sort of being ashamed of being where I'm from, because it's like the British are known for being shit tourists,
right.
like the fucking terrible tourists, like 100%. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I really want to
I
kind
don't
of
think that you should be um, arrogant about people should just know English. Like,
yeah,
yeah, that's
exactly,
awful.
yeah, 100%. Like
Yeah.
for me, it's like I just like I want to kind of make an effort and like learn basic phrases to get me by no matter what country I go. Just so they know I'm not like the rest.
Yeah, yeah, you're trying to be cool,
Yeah, and I mean,
but
trying is the operative
you
word because it
probably
never works.
you yeah, you probably still have a fanny pack though. I bet they
Oh
know.
no,
They know.
I no, that is never. Like, I mean,
You've got your little over the shoulder Lululemon bag. You don't have that?
no. Like, don't get me wrong, they are a thing. I just flat out refuse to wear them, man. Like, well, it's funny because we call them bum bags here.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
you guys call an arse a fanny, but like we call that the other one of the other side.
I like bum bag. That's a lot better. It's faster. It's from two syllables to one syllable. It's
Yeah,
efficient.
exactly.
It has alliteration. Bum bag.
Yeah,
I
bum
should
bag.
keep that.
Yeah. See,
Yeah, I'm
so
keeping
our
that.
language isn't that fucking bad, is it?
Well, no, I mean it's even cool when you all say it.
Yeah,
So
bum bag.
maybe I'm just jealous. Is that what this is? It's just jealousy.
It could be, yeah. Because I don't know. I think if you said fanny pack to somebody here, it would mean something incredibly different.
Listen, people probably don't even say fanny pack anymore. I'm just old.
Maybe
So
I
it's
don't know.
okay. I'm sure it has a new word. I don't
Maybe
even know.
maybe bum bag has made its way over to the states.
I don't know. I feel like I would know bum bag, but maybe I
Yeah.
don't. Maybe
No.
you're right. But no,
Uh,
I get it totally though. You don't want to be this person that's in it that's just an asshole.
mhm.
I know this language and you should know English too. And a lot of people they do try because it's just like they have to survive.
Yeah.
It almost though it's like I feel like Spanish it's just probably would have been easier for everybody, but I don't really know the way it should have went, but it went the way of English, and
Yeah.
I am there for it because it benefits us.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Like but like I said, I can't help but feel bad about it sometimes. Like, especially whenever you do go to places and they don't speak very good English, and it's like I have like terribly prepared for this situation. Like
Yeah.
whenever I was on honeymoon, my wife in Japan, we went into this bar in Kyoto. It was like a nice little quaint bar. There was a few like Nintendo sort of bits and pieces around the bar, and we walked in, kind of expecting it to be like a big bar with a lot of people there. But we walked in and it was just this one guy sitting at the bar by himself, the guy who owned it, and did not speak a word of English. And we were like, okay. So literally we had like a full blown conversation with the guy, text to speech, translate. Honestly, one of the best nights we had. Best nights out we
Isn't
had. Yeah,
isn't the invention of a phone to where you can do that like the most crazy thing ever?
I think so.
Like People don't understand that that is like actually new.
Yeah,
Like that is like within the past, I don't know, 10 to 15 years that that's even existed.
100%.
Before people would just be angry talking to each other, nobody would understand what was
Oh
going
yeah,
on
just shouting
unless
and
you had a
pointing.
translator. Yeah, yeah. It's the like where you slow down and speak louder, like then
Oh,
all of a sudden we're gonna get it. That's what we used to do. And now it's like bup, 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 psh,
yep.
and then people know it, and it's just it's amazing technology.
Oh man.
Like for all that it sucks, it's also so freaking cool.
Oh yeah.
So I'm grateful for that. I can't wait to go into a country and feel like a jackass using that. I can't wait. I can't wait. I've had enough people come in and do that to me, here where it's
No,
a lot of
it's
people. It's people that speak Spanish and they don't know English, and
yeah.
it really helps, because those people they're trying, they just don't know fucking English. Like,
Yeah,
give them a break.
that's it. Yeah, and that's like totally fine. Like they managed to break out of the cycle of everybody having to learn English. They were just like, no,
Yeah.
fuck that language.
Yeah, you gotta use that technology to your advantage. It's helped
100%,
so
man.
much with language.
100%.
Have you seen those things where like you put it in your ear and then somebody will like say it and then it translates it for you and then puts it into
No.
your ear? Oh, yeah, those things are fucking cool. I don't know how much they cost, but they're cool. They
Oh,
exist.
that does sound.
Yeah.
I would love that because like one thing I would love is to just be able, like, if I had a superpower, it would be to know every single language ever, and just if I ever need, that would be it.
That would be your superpower choice, language. I feel
100%.
like that's fucking lame, dude.
But
Out of all of the superpowers you could choose, you chose language.
100%.
I'm judging you.
No,
Like
think about it. Like, think about it. Think about how well you can travel and stuff like that. You
you
go
could
learn everything.
read minds.
I want to read minds. I don't know. I don't want to know what people are thinking. No, I don't. I don't want to. I don't want that impure smut getting into my mind.
Listen, I'm choosing invisibility
There, there. You
or
take.
flying. I don't know. I might go
Listen,
fly.
you think about it though, right? If you go flying, think about how much energy that's going to use. You're going to be fucking knackered all the time. You're not going to get far before you're tired. It's just like
Whoa, whoa,
running.
whoa.
You know what I mean? It's not. It's not like you. It's not like you have an engine, right? It's like you're flying.
So
You're using your energy to fly the same way you would to run or walk.
is that what you think? I mean,
100%.
I would naturally I thought that flying would just be like, you could just do it like
No, but think
Superman.
about it.
I
Right?
don't.
Okay, well, think about like a bird or something, right? They get tired from using wings. It'd be same with like what you have to use something within body to fly. So surely it would
Oh,
use
this
up
is
so much.
magic. This is a mystical power. Like it's a superpower. Like I don't think so. I don't think so.
No, I mean
Because this
that's
is like I'm on the scale of that. It's unlimited
okay.
energy because it's a superpower.
Okay, that's a no. I mean,
So I can fly anywhere and do anything.
okay, that makes yeah. Okay, when you put it that way, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, this is all hypothetical. So you
Yeah.
can have your little version, and that's
Well,
fine. But
actually,
in my head, that's how I was thinking.
well, do you know what? When you actually put it like that, yeah, no, fuck the languages because I can actually go out and learn languages at my own. I can't learn to fly. Yeah, fair. Teleport it
I
is.
just I just thought language was a weak one. There's a lot of
No,
superpowers
this is
out
true.
there.
This is true. It would be handy though. It would be handy though because there's so many places I want to go, and then I think it just gets rid of that kind of British guilt that I kind of carry around a foreign country.
Yeah, yeah, the guilt. Well, you
Yeah.
could be invisible and nobody even sees you're there.
No, but like the thing is though, like if you choose invisibility, people are automatically thinking pervert.
Okay.
You know what? Fucking right. Own that shit, man. Own that. That's totally fair.
People immediately think pervert. Listen, they can think what they want.
That's true. That's true. Because yeah, well, that's the thing. They can think what they want because they can't see what you're doing.
No, no, but you do have a point.
Calls for speculation,
Um,
man. Of course.
you could definitely pervert that superpower
Oh
for
yeah.
sure.
At least when you could pervert any or anything.
Yeah. How would you pervert the language one?
Well, you could basically go to somebody who doesn't speak that language. You know a certain language, go to somebody who doesn't speak it, and you could tell them all the wrong things to say to somebody to get them in a lot of trouble. Mistranslation.
I see. So you're gonna teach someone all the wrong shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Kind of like make them
Okay,
super like the most abhorrent things that you can think of.
that would be asshole.
It would be. I mean, do you know what though? Like that, but that's actually kind of a common thing that like people would hear. So like I remember like whenever I was in school, and whenever there would have been like maybe a someone in school who was like from Spain or something like that. People would have like asked them to say all these different Spanish just so they could learn how to like swear in Spanish. And it just got to the
Sure.
point where I knew a few people like this. They just started telling people the wrong thing, and basically telling people to go around to say X, Y, Z to teachers, to all kinds of other people, kind of at the hope that somebody would understand. Then all of a sudden, they're kind of saying something incredibly suggestive to the wrong person.
That is the first thing you try to do when you're a kid in
Oh yeah.
Spanish class is you want to immediately know the cuss words. I want
Oh
to know the
yeah.
bad words.
100%.
And teachers try to hide those from you.
I know.
But we dig. We
Oh
dig.
yeah.
We find them.
That's it. And now it's like,
We figure it out.
yeah, and like now kind of going back to the what do you call it? The uh translating on your phone. It's like now easier than ever. You actually get like someone saying it back to you, the right accent. They can say it at whatever speed you want them to, and perfect. Learning
Yeah, yeah.
language is
There's no
fun.
hiding that.
Yeah,
Now it's very easy. Back
yeah,
in the day, we had to search. We had to
yeah.
hunt that
Exactly.
shit down.
We got our
There was
porn
none
in
of that.
magazines.
Yeah, you had to find some kid that was had his parents were Mexicans or something,
Yeah.
which is a normal thing now, but back then wasn't so normal. And you had to be like, "Hey, I need you to teach me."
It's
And
just
then that guy is using that superpower just like you said, and he's telling us all the wrong shit. Probably this whole time we've been
Yeah,
saying titties wrong.
exactly. See, there's a method behind the madness.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. But Hawkman, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on behind the camera then the games today. Do you have any final thoughts for the listeners today?
No, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate bullshitting with you on here.
Oh
So,
man, it has been an
uh,
absolute ball of a time. Like it's been so funny, honestly. Yeah, man, no, like I say, I appreciate you taking the time. So my guest today has been Hawk. Oh, it goes by Hawkadoodle1 on TikTok. That's your main account now, right?
sure.
After Hawkeye Dude, what I don't know what happened to that. I was gonna tag that one in, but it doesn't seem to have been active for 6 months. So.
It's been a while.
Yeah, so my guest today has been Hawk. My name is AndyGames underscore 94. This has been Behind the Camera with AndyGames. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We will be back soon with another installment. Till then, peace.